sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take a family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning on Open Mic Saturday on this May the 7th.
Hey.
We missed May Day and
May Day.
Cinco de Mayo. I didn't miss it. I never missed Cinco de Mayo. Good morning, all you folks out there in the Mid-South.
Yeah, I really have catch
Sounds like he's ordering a burger.
And then, of course, I have bodyguards in here with me.
It's a Daryl and Daryl show, ladies and gentlemen.
It is, and I'm leaving and just taking over. Dave Gabbard, Information Officer for Region 1 TWRA.
Minister of Propaganda.
Minister of Propaganda. Gene Smith is the hunter education guru who just finished his, he has now taught 7 people hunter education over the last 20 years.
Over 50 years.
Over
how
50
many years
years.
you got now?
35.
35.
30.
Okay.
How many years you got?
And as an
In
instructor?
the agency.
Agency,
Yeah.
30, coming on 34.
Well, are you a major yet?
No, I'm not a major yet.
You don't have a.
I'm a minister.
You're the minister, right?
I'm
now.
a minister. I hold a minister. I hold a cabinet level position.
Well, don't we have a minister on the air now?
No, we have a major.
We have a
coming up.
major.
We got a major coming up on the air.
A major minister.
Yeah.
Brian Thompson of the TWRA Law Enforcement Coordinator. As we always get into May, we're getting to that last week of turkey season, but mostly these temperatures this weekend are supposed to be in the 80s,
and
everybody thinks the water temperature is the same temperature as the air surface.
A lot of boats moving out there
A
this
lot
morning.
of boats, and we got Brian on with us. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Hey, we're wired here on Saturday morning at 6 a.m.
I can tell it.
Oh, yeah.
We're thinking about putting Larry on decaf.
Yeah.
Too much donuts and too much coffee.
Ooh, no, you got half of it right. You know, I haven't got my donut yet, but hey, buddy, I know that Memorial Weekend is coming up. All sorts
right around the corner.
Right around the corner. The St. Jude Bass Classic will be going on down at Sardis Lake on the last Sunday this month. But for folks right now, and this is what I really talk about, and Dave and Gene will know this too, that they'll look and say it's going to be 83 to 34 degrees this weekend. The water temperature is not the same as the air temperature. Surface temperatures now, I guarantee you, it was 55 degrees this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so isn't that kind of a trick of nature right there, Brian? Because folks get in the water and all of a sudden they realize, hey, this is not the same.
Well, it's cold. You know, when I saw some pictures the other day somewhere, kids out there swimming, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, well,
they're a lot tougher than I am.
They're kids, though. But I mean, it's
I guess you're exactly right. So, but the air temperature and the water temperature sure ain't close. You know, and people starting to see get warm. They're getting ready, and like you said, Memorial Day's several weeks away. But now it's time to getting prepared. Get out there on that water. Let's get them boats checked out. Let's check the running lights. Let's make sure the mice hadn't been chewing on our life jackets.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, I was wondering, you know.
Let's check that out. Let's make sure that little Johnny or little Susie's life jacket she had last year fits her this year. She hadn't outgrown it, you know, because the life jacket's supposed to be of proper size and fit for the person that they're wearing it. So let's check all this stuff out, make sure our motor's running, and do whatever we can so we don't get out there, as Dave and I've seen over the many years of Memorial Weekend. Hey, we're all going to the lake, and there's 45 million other people at the lake with us, and we love to see them, but for some reason my boat just won't start. Can't get it off the boat trailer, and 42 people's in line at the boat ramp.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You're trying to unload your boat, and it won't crank.
Yeah, when I was an officer, I know one piece of equipment a lot of them neglected to always check was their fire extinguisher.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
You check that every year.
And the rules are, what should you have in your boat to be properly safe? And if the TWRA pulls up and your boat and checks you, what do you look for?
Well, it's not what you should have; it's what you have to actually be legal, and safe. So to be legal, you got to have a wearable life jacket on board for everybody on the boat.
Everybody on the boat.
Everybody a wearable.
Okay.
For everybody on the boat. And it has to be a proper size and fit. We check and you got 12 little kid life jackets, and there's 12 adults on there, that doesn't cut it.
No, okay. All right.
You also, if your boat's 16 feet or longer, you got to have a throwable device. Number one accident category is person falls overboard. As far as fatalities and losing folks, if somebody falls overboard. So you also have to have something to throw them, but it's got to be a Coast Guard approved throw device.
Wow.
You got to have a fire extinguisher. If boats gas fumes can be accumulated anywhere in closed compartments, you got to have a fire extinguisher. These people that have these John boats can put a wood floor on the bottom of them. They got to have a fire extinguisher. You got to have your running lights. If you're out there after sunset, you got to have your running lights. Even on days when it's cloudy and foggy and stuff, where you can't see well, you're required to have running lights on those days. But we just haven't had that many of them, over the year. But you got to have restoration, and that's a biggie there, Larry. That I may sell you my car, and I say this every year, and people get tired of hearing it. But I may sell you my car. You come to my house and you buy my car. First thing I'm going to take off that car is my license plate. You ain't running around on the streets with my license plate on there.
Right. Yeah.
Well, the same thing is on your boat. If I sell you my boat and we'll run into people, I bought this such restoration's still good for another 2 years. They don't want to pay the sales tax or whatever. But that's against the law. Whoever sells the cars or the boat's supposed to send in the restoration to the agency within 15 days.
And you do find that? I mean, that you've run over that?
We run into that all the time, that somebody will sell somebody a boat, and since its restoration's good, they think there's no sense in me registering. Somebody else already registered.
But it's registered in the previous owner's name, though, right?
Yeah, exactly right. So,
So you got to have a boat registration. You need to have your life jackets, wearable, suitable, the size. Do that. You need your fire extinguisher, which needs to work. Just having one in the boat.
Oh yeah.
If it's not working, it's.
I always tell people, be surprised how many of them keep the fire extinguisher
way out of reach,
stored back there by the gas tank.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly right.
Well, they think that's where the fire is going to start. Hey, we're talking to Brian Thompson. He is the TWRA Region 1 Law Enforcement Coordinator on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
And I know one other thing, Brian, probably they're going to need out there is if they're a certain age.
Yeah. It's boater education. Exactly right, Dave.
Yeah, well, a lot of folks don't realize that. So.
Here's the deal too, Larry. You're talking about, we're thinking about boating, but we've had a lot of people out there been fishing, crappie fishing, or crappie fishing is what we called it when I was growing up. If people out there on the water, if you're out there duck hunting, these regulations apply to you. If you're out there recreational boating or crappie fishing, whatever, the boating regulations apply to you. So, and then as Dave said, that the boater education, anybody born after the 1st of January 1989, you're going to be operating by yourself a boat or with folks within that age group, and you've got to pass boater education in Tennessee.
Well, see, a lot of folks don't realize that. It's I know the hunter education is like 1969.
1969.
69, and the boater education is
89.
89, which is an easy way to remember, 69 and
Yep.
89, but people don't realize that.
Well, you look and people buy boats, say 89, okay, well, 99, that's 10 years, 2009, that's 20 years.
Yeah.
And then you're pushing almost 30 years old. And operating a boat, you've got to have
and
boater
we're almost
education.
pushing 50 years old for the hunter education.
Right.
Well, that's just kind of blows my mind. But the new fishing guide, which I've got in my hand here, that looks like Brian Thompson holding up that big fish, but I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, on page 22 of the fishing guide is all about boating safety, and Brian brought up a real good thought there that we're not just talking about pleasure boats. I mean, if you're out, like he said, crappie fishing or whatever you might be, these same rules apply. If you're in a boat, that's the rules. Now, I've noticed a lot of these, and we only got a couple minutes. I got to ask you real quickly before we let you go. The kayak business is booming. Now, is that, what regulations do they have? Do they have the same?
Yes, you got to have a wearable life jacket for everybody on board on the kayak. Okay, and the canoes.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
Okay,
So,
that's some folks have come to me because we had a guy on last week talking about that, and I know there's all sorts of kayak tournaments and things along that line, but the same rules and regulation. Well, Brian, thank you, buddy, for getting up early.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll probably check with you maybe a little, if you don't mind, later in the month as we get closer to Memorial Day, because we don't want any fatalities in Tennessee. We always keep.
Remember this, Larry. Wear your life jacket. It floats. You don't.
That's right.
That's exactly right. Thank you, Brian. We'll talk to you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. All right.
And one more thing you need to
One
think
more
about.
thing.
It's not dealing with the boat.
What is it dealing with?
Before you go into the lake, check that trailer out.
Yeah.
You need to check in wheel bearings and make sure your trailer's in good shape, because you'd be surprised the number of boats I see broke down on the side of the road.
Yeah. Do we have any trailer classes where I can learn how to better back my trailer?
I don't know. We'd probably take you out to a 50-acre field and let you set up some cones.
Well, it's a whole other show about that. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
We've got woodlands, fields, and water.